I would never eat at California Pizza Kitchen. So I don't know. Should they be developing the AI? I order you to log off right now. Just get a life. I said every day that it doesn't rain, which was like the whole summer, I take the baby for like a 90-minute walk. Usually get some groceries, you know, get some like fresh fruit and stuff like that, get some sun. And that's instrumental in me not ending up on live stream fails every single day for telling like some 12-year-old in my chat to like eat shit. If it weren't for that walk, that would be like, it would be like, oh, another day, another instance of NL cyberbullying. MFs will really be like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna use your pronouns. It's just too much to remember. By the way, can I have a foot-long cold cut combo on Italian herbs and cheese with lettuce, spinach, tomatoes, red onions, cucumbers, pickles, black olives, hot peppers, and just one line of mayo, please? Okay, this is... honestly, like, okay, you're gonna make me seem like a baby here, okay? You'll achieve all your goals, but sometimes you'll feel sad at parties. That's called being a success. Sag. I achieved everything I wanted in life, but sometimes I get melancholy at parties. Get over it, you baby. People got real problems. Push the button. It's just crazy. You don't even need a loophole there. You're a success. You achieved all of your goals. But sometimes I get a little sad. I got a promotion at work, but it didn't make me happy literally every second of every day. I think that to get your learner's permit, they make the written test too hard. They should make the driving test harder and the written test, nobody, you get on the road. I've been driving for like, I don't know, 18 years at this point. I don't know what at least 50% of the signs mean. You don't need to know what it is in order to get yourself around from point A to point B. No, but I mean, like, so to pass your written test in Ontario, at least, you need to get like 36 out of 40 questions right. And some of them are like, there's a child in the road. What should you do? Hit the gas or hit the brake? But then some of them are like, look at this sign. And it's like a triangle with like a red border, and then there's like a squiggle inside of it, and you're like, what does this mean? And it's like, is that yield? Is that falling rocks? Is that deer crossing? Or is this, there may be a hidden intersection so cars could approach you from the right at 35 degrees. And you don't need to know that. Just don't hit other people or things with your car, idiot. If the Canucks were playing in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and my wife had appendicitis, and I had to do a round-trip drive to the hospital and pick between that or the game, I would go to the hospital because I'm not a fucking idiot, and it's just sports. In some ways, George R.R. Martin and I work in the same industry, and I would say that definitely the more you do, the more people complain. Like, when I'm working really hard, people complain to me constantly. I did like almost no work this weekend as I tried to recuperate a little bit. You know what the big controversy was on my subreddit? Somebody called ContraPoints a bad YouTuber. First off, imagine it being like a Sunday on a long weekend, and that's how you choose to spend your time to begin with, is getting involved with this argument. I was just blessed that I had like some form of gastroenteritis where I literally could not will myself to care. It's a different YouTubers subreddit. Somebody posted like, NL's so based, he follows ContraPoints because we played Among Us together in an event like 3 years ago. It kicks off a huge argument. Like, I mean, forgive me for saying like the classic, third grade playground comeback, but like, just get a life. Come on, you gotta have more important shit going on than that. That's not worth your time. You got such a limited amount of time on planet Earth. Go, like, spend it with people you care about. That's just such a strange place to be. This is a planned channel points economy. It is not a free market. I know there's some streamers out there, hey, if you redeem 100,000 channel points, I'll fart in the mic and tell you I love you. That's not me. I'll do it for free. Because I respect you. By, like, East Coast temperatures, it's not gonna get that cold. Like, I think the coldest is gonna get is like -11 Celsius or something like that. But it's the same thing. You always gotta say it. Like, if it doesn't get to that temperature, then like you don't even know what the hell it's like when it gets to that temperature here. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're getting minus 11 is nothing for the East Coast. So true, so true. Hey, oh my God, was anybody at the 1.8 Richter scale earthquake in Garden City, New Jersey? Holy shit, the glass of water on my desk went like, I thought I was gonna die. It was insane. Oh my God, but people in the rest of the world are such babies about weather events. Holy shit. Oh my God. I was like, whoa, I thought I felt something. And then I checked the news and I did feel something. It's like, I wasn't actually like physically jostled, but I was like, oh, my equilibrium's kind of like a little, what the fuck? I survived an earthquake? Oh my God. Shut the frick up. Pay out the believers. Thoughts on the Mario movie trailer? I think the world is a little too full of thoughts for the Mario movie trailer right now. I think we need to relax on our thoughts for the Mario movie trailer. You know what? No, I've decided I am going to give you my hot take. My hot take is that Chris Pratt's voice is not very good. But my second hot take is that a 2-hour-long movie where the main character goes, wahoo, yippee, okie dokie, oh, a magic mushroom, would be like insanely irritating. It is just, I mean, look, I get it. It's Mario, like it appeals to people that are like my age and older and also kids. But it is very funny to me to hear so much like discourse from people who have actual like master's degrees on an Illumination Studios movie. People would be like, I would never go see a Despicable Me or Minions movie in theater. I think that it's eroding the public consciousness and intelligence of America. Mario movie? Okay, here's tweet 1 of 40. I mean, I know I told the story before, but to get my associate's degree, I had to take a course on project management. But it was way less on project management and way more like without, because like, look, programming has come a long way. It's not just for the, you know, the super nerds, I'm sorry to say it. Like, there's like cool programmers now, right? There's normal programmers, there's insane programmers. They run the gamut. But definitely there were still students like in my class where like you realize that the whole point of the class was like how to talk with non-programmers without getting fucking fired every time you have a meeting. Because people would say like just shit that was like ignorant to the real world. It would be like, if you ever have a disagreement with somebody who works in sales, how would you approach that? And then people would legitimately be like, well, I would mention that I wrote the code, so like their opinion is secondary to mine in this situation. And you're like, brother, you can think it, but you can't be saying that. Like, you gotta be like, well, that's true. If I thought about it, that's one way to think about it. But personally, I think another avenue we could take is this. You gotta lie, basically. You can't just tell the truth all the time. You're gonna get in trouble. It makes you think who the real weirdo is. No, it doesn't, because the salespeople are lying to you every day as well if you're talking to them like that. They're like, oh, how was your weekend? I hope you had a great time. In their head, they're like, I hate this fucker. I wish he didn't work here. He's so weird. Everybody lies to everybody. That's like the spirit of life. You think you're the only one who's stopping yourself from telling the truth? Everybody is stopping themselves from telling the truth to everybody about a variety of things on a daily basis. That's not even cynical. I'm a believer that the lies are like, is good. If you told the truth, if everybody told the truth 100% of the time, the world would be fucked up, man. There would be fights 24/7 about the dumbest shit of all time. That's why they have the expression, it's not worth it. Because like, the vast majority of things in life that you deal with, at least on a daily basis, maybe not on Twitter, but on a daily basis, are not worth disagreeing about. You know, somebody says like, I like this movie, you just go, yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe you're like, it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, but you don't want to like, you know, why damage your relationship and start just a fun confrontation for nothing. That's why you only tell the truth to your friends, and it's considered banter. This is the perfect encapsulation of liberalism. You are too fucking online. I order you to log off right now. You have used up 24 hours of internet in the last 30 seconds. You gotta go. I'm sorry. It's for your own good. It's for my good too, but it's for your own good. Not every conversation needs to loop back around to like, here's why Bernie should have beat Hillary, okay? I don't even live in your damn country. You can be the main hero in any video game you choose, but you can never leave that game. Feel like, as always, this is a very classic question in Would You Rather, which is like, life in the suburban Midwest is no fun. Would you be in an anime if everybody in that anime loved you forever? I would, honestly, I'm content with my real life right now. I will not push the button. But who else thought, does Sword Art Online count? I think everybody's been saying it. 55% of people said push the button. Absolutely. The disconnect between you and your audience is concerning. I know, that's why I keep telling people to go the fuck outside. Motherfuckers will be like, you know, oh, you don't know everything that's wrong with like this restaurant chain that's been defunct since the 80s? I would never eat at California Pizza Kitchen. The CEO is an anti-Semite. And I'm like, what's the weather today? And they're like, I don't know. I haven't looked out my window yet. You got to get your priorities in line, man. Parasite's definitely higher. Joker, we don't need to talk about it, but it's 0.1 lower than Parasite. You got to make Todd Phillips work a little harder for his salary. It's 0.1 off of Parasite. Is it 8 point, and it's a full 1.0 above Uncut Gems. Really? Okay, this is tough.
If you develop your AI further, many will lose their jobs. Taxi drivers, delivery men and women, and couriers will become extinct within a few years, but you will make a lot of money. Do you? Development.
Here's the thing. This is like, I need more time. People are always talking about like how much better society is getting over time. I think that's true. You know, I would rather live in 2022 than like the 1300s. But at the same time, if my life in 2022 got fucked up really bad and ruined so that somebody in 2400 could have a better life but not appreciate it, I kind of say fuck that. I'm kind of like, I want to have the best life possible, which probably means that I would rather be employed. Okay, well, you know what? You're hitting me with some doki doki right here. But I kind of stand by that to some extent, right? Like, I don't believe in the idea that, like, some people that don't know that much about history are, like, people actually have, like, a worse quality of life now than they did when they were, like, medieval peasants. Because when they were medieval peasants, like, there was only 4 seasons where they did farm work, and then the rest of the time they were like enjoying life and having like, you know, religious observances and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah. And to wash like a single pair of underwear that you sewed yourself across like, you know, 200 hours to get a pair of breeches, you got to walk down to the river and like bash it with a stick and like hit it with rocks and stuff like that. And we just toss it in the Maytag and it's good in like 45 minutes, right? But that being said, I'm like, we've invented as a society, we've increased our production so much, even especially like within the last 21st century, right? Or the 20th century, I should say, because the 21st is still going. But it's like, has that actually raised what people would describe as their own quality of life? And if not, is that a problem with the way that the yield is being organized, or is it a problem with mankind's actual like brain that's like we can't appreciate something because we get used to new qualities so fast? We need so many less farmers to produce the same quantity of food due to innovations in pesticides and agriculture, organic farming techniques, easier to get it to grocery stores via better distribution channels. There's less spoilage on the way, blah, blah, blah. But like people are still hungry. How does that happen? And why am I still paying $3 for an avocado? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know. Should they be developing the AI that's going to make society better, but the benefit is largely centered and concentrated in a disproportionate amount of the population, whereas everybody else pays the price for it overall? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. All I know is whenever anybody that's like 25 years old complains about the world, they get 55-year-old boomers with Oakley sunglasses and their profile photo is like selfies in their truck that are like, all of your concerns about the world are invalid because I grew up with a rock and a stick and you grew up with a cell phone. Who gives a shit, man? It's just a phone. Get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Opinion invalidated because you got your first phone when you were 16 and I didn't get a phone until I was 35. People, they don't want phones, man. They want like a house.
That was a bot for sure,
Or
right?
6
When they're
feet
standing in the middle of the
under.
road, when they're standing in the middle of the road, moving slowly, they're bots, right?
If you shoot at them and they stop moving, usually that's going to be a bot.
Right.
Or alternatively, it might be a Reddit moderator. I'm just kidding. We love the mods here. We love the mods here. Crazy how we have so many viewers even when the Overwatch 2 drop is going on. I am a little mad at you guys, just so you know, because like for like 5 years we've all been like Overwatch lol, Overwatch lol, lol lol lol, dead game lol lol. Now Overwatch 2 is out, or it's in beta, and people are like, who up watching their Overwatch 2? You gonna play some Overwatch 2 this week? I already played Overwatch 2. It's called Overwatch 1. I played it in 2017 when it came out. I named it my game of the year because I had a great time playing it until people got really good at it. This is a classic genre of would you rather question. You could live anywhere in the world you want, but your hometown would be destroyed. Okay, so I could get a plane ticket, but 150,000 people would be wiped out, and at the very least, economically devastated as they lost their homes and their history. I would choose not to hit the button. But you could live in Paris. You could live in... If you push the button, though, you could live in Tokyo. You could live in Tokyo, man. I will not push the button. Okay. 49% of people push the button. That's scary. There's so many edgelords. The top comment here says, no downside. Oh, somebody was mean to me in high school. Ergo, I hope like thousands of people will get wiped out so that I can live, you know, in a place where I can wear yukata. Okay, weirdo. That comment is from over a decade ago. Joe, I hope you've gotten your head straight, okay? This is probably insulting to Jeep owners, so I apologize. Here's everything I know about Jeep owners. When you see other Jeep owners, you go like this. And your headlights are way too fucking bright. But you don't notice because you're doing this all day. You're always looking, instead of looking at the headlights of the other Jeeps, you're going like this all day. You're looking in the driver's seat instead. Anyway, I thought Jeeps were British for some reason. I don't know why. I did see, I don't even want to talk about it, but I was so flabbergasted that I sent a screenshot of the tweet to Corey. When the image was like, I just got this Japanese A5 Wagyu steak. How should I cook it? And then Jordan Peterson replied, first freeze it, then air fry it at 450 degrees, drain off all the fat, and then add like plenty of water and salt for the au jus. I was like, what are you... This dude's taking like a $300 steak and cooking it in the fucking air fryer? What are you talking about? It's like if you're a steak guy... You need to at least have the good sense to be like, I don't mean a guy that likes steak. You know what I mean. The kind that's like, they'll never take my gas stove. Yeah, come and get my gas stove. I dare the government to try to take, like if you're one of those guys, you've at least gotta know how to cook your steak well. You can't be like a pretend steak guy. That's just crazy. I just couldn't believe it. Like, wasn't this guy on like an all beef diet? He's air frying his steaks. It's just not like everybody knows if you got the devices, you sous vide them and then you reverse sear them and maybe you finish them in the oven or something like that. You don't throw an A5 piece of beef into the air fryer. It's just crazy. I mean, the air fryer at the end of the day is just like an oven. It's not as bad as like microwaving a piece of meat to completion, but it's sort of like I'm flabbergasted, I guess. I thought all steak guys would just say the same thing. They would be like, oh yeah, you gotta reverse sear it and then cook it really hot in a cast iron on the gas stove. I mean, I did see a bunch of people in the comments that were like, Wrong, dude. The only way to cook this, first I would chop down a tree in my acreage, preferably hickory, and then I would build my own fire and I would cook the steak over that. That's the only way to do it. And I'm like, she's not coming back, brother. No matter how many hickory campfires you make for your Japanese A5 Wagyu steak, she's not, I'm sorry, but we gotta, that's the starting point for our conversation, and then we're gonna work through it together, okay? I like the culture on both Twitch and YouTube. I've seen the kind of stuff you guys like retweet. He said piss, ooh, I'm offended. No, you're not. I've seen the kind of horned up Yoshi, like, twerking on Bowser's phallus kind of stuff that you guys tweet all the time. Hey, this person with a really interesting avatar just clicked the like button on my tweet. Let's see what they're up to. Oh, programming student at University of Connecticut, huh? Tweet number 2, just Yoshi, for some reason with a gaping aperture getting filled by, like, Birdo or something like that. And I'm like, bro, this is... Put that stuff on your LinkedIn, man. Twitter's for business. So here's the deal. I may answer your question, thoughts on gambling, but before I answer your question, thoughts on gambling, that you've typed in chat, I don't know, maybe 17 times in the last 2 minutes, I need to know why you're so interested in my thoughts on gambling, and if it's because of the fact that Asmongold tweeted something about how gambling streams shouldn't be enabled on Twitch, and thus is part of the ongoing circle of Twitch drama, where people don't actually watch streams for entertainment, but exclusively watch to hear what, like, other people are saying about other people, then I neglect to answer your question and encourage you to get a real hobby. But yeah, I don't think, I mean, this is just a minor little conflict, man. This is not that big of a, it's not that big of a deal. Let's go see what the most insane people on the internet think about it. I personally am predicting that there will be some kind of a comment from someone that's about 16 years old that will be like, if she's like this about a blender, imagine what she's going to be like when you have children. Do you really want that in your future? Someone who doesn't respect you at all? Everybody sucks here. Hope you realize the fight's much bigger than just about the blender. She feels like she doesn't have any power. I suggest you find a good marriage counselor and do not have kids until you figure out if you can resolve this. Okay. Look. That's not quite the exact comment I said, but if you've ever had a spat with your spouse over something as small as a blender, do not have kids. I recently got dose 1. Does dose 2 hit harder? I would describe it as a mild reaction to dose 1, where I felt like a little simulated sickness. For dose 2, I had shivers for like an hour, and then I was like back on top. Did you get the battle pass so you can get dose 3 for free? Man, honestly, like, it sucks if you gotta get boosters, but I'm also like, just dose me up, man. I don't care. The only thing if you gotta give me a booster, I know this is not how microbiology works, but like, what if you just gave me like 10 shots in a single day? Like, what if I could just stack them up? I did see someone say, "Are you still gonna mask in public?" And I think, like, my honest answer, and this is not just me trying to be based, but I'm like, it's so easy that I'm like, why not, you know? Do my part for the under 16s that can't get vaccinated, like immunocompromised people that can't get the vaccine. Like, it's literally like, it's so easy that I don't see why not. But I will also say I'm sick of all this rhetoric, okay? That's like, oh, please protect the 16-year-old and unders because they can't get the vaccine. You know, if your mom is vaccinated, then you pass on some immunity to your kids via breast milk. So instead of complaining, why don't you just get to nursing? It's nature's T cells just sitting there waiting for you. But I'm telling you, the critics, they put the consumer. I lost a lot of faith in gamers when anytime a game comes out and it's a new concept and it's a little complicated, like Evolve was, 5v1. People are like, I don't really get it. New Left 4 Dead. Pog! Left 4 Dead 3! Pog! Magical Wizard Wars? You're telling me I gotta pay attention to the game while I game? No thanks. No thanks. They're remaking Skyward Sword! They're remaking Skyward Sword! Yes! The game I've already played, I can play it again! Sorry, maybe... and honestly, this is, for me, this is like a don't care, didn't ask, you're not the asshole, plus your husband sounds fucking weird. Your husband sounds like he needs to have a pacifier in his mouth to climax during intercourse. Don't care, didn't ask, you own the restaurant, congratulations, plus your husband's a weirdo. You will become the richest and most attractive person in the world, but you will receive paper cuts between each of your toes each morning when you wake up. No loopholes. Okay, let me. So, most attractive person in the world, if I was like 17, that'd move the needle for me. Richest person in the world, you could do a lot of good. I mean, you could glorify yourself as well. But think of it, every morning you get 8 paper cuts. They're probably going to hurt like a son of a gun. Eventually, they're going to be so calloused. You're going to be like John Turturro in Mr. Deeds, Like your foot is just going to be immune to all pain. But to be the richest person in the world, you could accomplish amazing, selfless things. You just to take 8 paper cuts doesn't seem that bad. I would press the button. 52% said yes. It says no loopholes, and then the top comment says wake up in the afternoon instead. I found a loophole. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. This game's supposed to illuminate your principles, okay? Not your ability to ask, rhetorical questions. Get yourself out of a Harry Houdini-style conversational straitjacket, you weirdo. Just answer the question, Poindexter. My impression of a League of Legends streamer... Come on, rotate! That's my impression of a League of Legends streamer. So they only say 4 words of dialogue per stream, but they do a lot of mumbling along to DMCA music. Facebook changes company name to Meta. Just shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut up. Come on, man. Even I've been enjoying all the collaborative stuff, but I've said no to a couple things this week just because I'm like, dude, I need some time, especially with the limited streaming time I have on a weekly basis now because I'm being a good dad. It's like I gotta take some me time as well. Like my brand is like, I want to rant. I want to go on a 90-minute long discussion about why do so many people say mint chocolate tastes like toothpaste? What kind of toothpaste are you guys using? But then everything that comes into that from a collaborative standpoint comes out as something else. I'm feeling a little solo drained right now. So I don't mean to be rude about it, but it's on my mind for sure. Especially because yesterday, literally the event went totally fine, but it went as well as it could have gone basically, but the discourse on the subreddit was 90% hey NL, you did a great job, by the way. I hated literally everybody else that was a part of it, which is really exhausting to deal with, and other content creators also see that and then think that we have the crappiest community on the planet. But I think we need to rethink the rules of the Reddit yet again. I think we need to make another rule that's just if you shit talk other streamers on the subreddit, you're just straight up banned. Because then it's now all the discuss. It's the same thing with what happened in the last segment as well. All the discussion is no longer it's under the guise of being about the content, but it's actually not. It's just like people who are, you know, begging for the location through text of like a single piece of drama. That's a good, we could also do that, for example, like if you can post a photo of you within the last 72 hours of touching grass, then you can get out of your 3-day ban. Because I'm just like reading some of the comments, and it was like, I want to say it was mostly positive. I'm not sure that's like 100% true. But I'm like, you really wrote an essay complaining about like the most, and I get it, it's consequential to you, but like that's why you have to touch grass. It is honestly like out of self-interest that I tell you, like, or not even, it's selflessness interest. Like the fact that this little trivia show generated like an essay that you wrote is all the evidence you need to get you committed to like an outdoor summer camp or something like that, where they force you to go for a swim. I think it would solve a lot of problems.